And welcome to this edition of the Native News Update on this Monday, November 7th. I'm your host for today's program, Paul DeMain. Many of the stories we read here can also be found at our website at IndianCountryNews.com. And here are some of the news stories from the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. An 88-year-old Marine Corps veteran who used his Navajo language to keep secrets from the Japanese during World War II is bringing his story to Western Michigan on November 10th for a Veterans Day week event. Samuel Sandoval was one of the Navajo code talkers who served with U.S. forces in the Pacific to keep Japanese interpreters from understanding military communications. The New Mexico resident said the Japanese didn't have a chance because of the use of the rarely written language, and says he's pretty darn proud of what he and his other fellow code talkers did. The Grand Rapids Press says Sandoval will speak at 1 p.m. at the Grand Valley State University's Eberhart Center. The Marine Corps League of Grand Rapids is hosting that talk. And, of course, Veterans Day is Friday on November 11th. And here at Lakuta Ray, they're going to be having their annual LCO Schools Honoring. And perhaps we'll bring that to you live on IndianCountryTV.com. The White House and the U.S. Small Business Administration has announced the launch of a Young Entrepreneurs series called Yes, which will connect young and aspiring entrepreneurs with SBA officials, local business advisors, and resources to help them start or grow their own small business. The SBA will hold 5 Yes forums that will reach a broad audience, including young veterans, urban and rural entrepreneurs, and others. Dates and locations include on November 7th up in San Diego, California. That's starting today at the Veteran Young Entrepreneurs. That's the title of the presentation. On November 9th in Ames, Iowa, called Rural Young Entrepreneurs. On November 17th in Charlotte, North Carolina, called Young Entrepreneurs at Historically Black Colleges and Universities and Minority Serving Institutions. November 29th in Tahlequah, Oklahoma, called Native American Young Entrepreneurs, and December 1st in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, at Apprenticeship to Entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship among young people remains well below average, and young entrepreneurs face unique challenges. And for more information and live stream connection, go to www.sba.gov, and we'll put that up on the board for you to read. Arizona has seen its revenue from tribal casinos rise for the 5th consecutive quarter. The Arizona Department of Gaming reports the tribe's payments to the state will be about $23.1 million for the quarter that ended September 30th. That is a 6.8% increase from the same quarter a year ago. Money from the payments will be distributed for various special funds, including ones for education, emergency services, tourism, and gambling prevention. The 22 casinos in Arizona pay the state between 1% and 8% of their gross revenue from certain types of gambling, such as slot machines and card games. Quapaw employees will join together November 9th to clean up trash and recyclables. The day's efforts will be coordinated by the Quapaw Tribe's Environmental Department as one of the events planned for their annual American Recycling Week. This particular section of Ottawa County Road is lined with remnants of past tornado debris and litter. With state and county budgets stretched to their limits, this cleanup will help to allow existing funds to be used for other projects in the state. The Quapaw Tribal Environmental Department is also sponsoring an employee recycling contest for the week of November 7th through the 10th. The mission of the Environmental Department is to protect human health, the environment, and the cultural heritage of the Quapaw people through applying scientific methods in understanding impacts to our natural world. And recycling and picking up trash is one way to begin all of that. Coordination of effort was high on the list of priorities recently as the Assembly of First Nations National Chief Sean A. Chut-Atleo met with Anishinaabe Nation Grand Council Chief Patrick Madubby and Ontario Regional Chief Angus Taluzi. The meeting was an opportunity to profile Anishinaabe Nation priorities in health, governance, education, economic development, and confirm linkages to broader regional and national efforts and concerns. National Chief Atleo was very supportive of the Anishinaabe Nation's process to reaffirm its nationhood. Both Atleo and Madubby are longtime proponents of resetting the relationship between First Nations and the Crown. The Indian Act has to go, he said. Look at what is done to divide our nation, and let's see, divide our nations and pit us against each other over piecemeal funding. But first and foremost, our Constitution is for us, to unify and to inspire us, especially our youth, Madubby continued. We must continue to move forward to establish our governments, implement our treaties, and exercise our inherent rights and jurisdictions. Civic Ventures has announced that Jerry L. Hill from the Oneida Nation of Wisconsin is a 2011 Purpose Prize Fellow. Hill was recognized as a social entrepreneur over 60 who, in his encore career, is using his experience and passion to make an extraordinary impact on society's biggest challenges. Now in its sixth year, the $17 million Purpose Prize program is the nation's only large-scale investment in social innovators in the second half of their life. Hill was named a fellow because of his consistent dedication to his Oneida culture and language. He was a language apprentice to Oneida elder Amos Christian for 10 years, who inspired and encouraged other Oneidas to revitalize their language, participate in their cultural practices, and to become educated as a path toward survival and good citizenship. Founded by the Atlantic Philanthropies and the John Templeton Foundation, the Purpose Prize is a program of Civic Ventures Encore Careers, which aims to engage millions of boomers in encore careers, combining personal meaning, continued income, and social impact in the second half of your life. And we'll put that website up as well. It's encore.org/prize. The American Civil Liberties Union is investigating whether the South Dakota Department of Social Services has violated federal law by removing Native American children from their homes and improperly placing them in foster care. Tate Walker, an ACLU spokesman based in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, said the organization has fielded individual complaints for years from families who say the state has violated the Federal Indian Child Welfare Act. The law directs officials to place Native American children removed from homes with their relatives or tribes, except in very unusual situations. But the issue simmered on a back burner until a recent National Public Radio series finally lit a fire, according to Walker. The NPR series began airing last week and has stirred nationwide debate, drawing complaints from Governor Dennis DeGarde's staffers while prompting two members of the U.S. House of Representatives to call for a federal investigation as well. And finally, some members of the three affiliated tribes want more federal review of a planned oil refinery on the Fort Berthold Reservation in northwest North Dakota. The Environmental Protection Agency earlier approved a permit for the discharge of treated wastewater. The group says the approval came before the tribe decided the refinery would process North Dakota crude oil rather than Canadian oil. The Bismarck Tribune reports that the matter will go before an EPA appeals board. EPA spokeswoman Lisa McLean Vanderpool says the board's decision can be appealed in federal court. Tribal officials have called for proposals to finance a refinery costing up to $400 million. The project will also need an air quality permit as well. And that's going to be another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. We want to thank you for joining with us, and you come back again soon. Miigwech.